Okay, everybody, let's get started. Let's wrap it up for tonight. And we're just going to have a very brief presentation. And my goal is to teach you how to grow a bouquet of gladiolas. Boy, that is probably the easiest assignment possible. And if you fail, then I'm afraid we're going to have a remedial gardening class next year for you. But it's so easy to grow gladiolas. And your county agents were sent samples of all kinds of gladiola varieties that you can try. And so please, everybody, take one of these sample bags and grow a beautiful bouquet of gladiolas that you can share with someone that you care for. Gladiolas are one of the easiest to grow, most popular, most beautiful cut flowers around. And here's how you make it happen. It first of all starts with good quality corms. Corms is a specialized type of bulb, just for botanists out there. It's a swollen stem with scales around it. And you can even, if you want to, open up your bag and see what we're talking about here. These here are your corms. This is what you're getting. Everybody's getting 10 of these. And the thing about when you get gladiolas or almost any bulb, keep in mind that the bigger the bulb, the better. The bigger, the better. The bigger the bulb, the more food energy, the stronger vigor you can have to get started, and the more likely you can have success producing an attractive flower. So the bigger the better. For gladiolas, you want to have bulbs at about 1 1/4 inch or larger in diameter. Now you've got, hey man, you get the best from NDSU Extension. These are US #1 bulbs, and they average about 1.5 inches. So you've got no excuse. With these bulbs, they're going to be outstanding bulbs for you. But on the other hand, if you go to the bargain store and you buy some really cheap bulbs, and if they're 3/4 of an inch in diameter or smaller, you may not get any blossoms. You might just get some leaves this year. So keep in mind, the bigger the better. And then also the thing to keep in mind is you want a bulb that's plump. It should look just like a Hershey's chocolate kiss. That's what you want. Big, fat, plump one, not a skinny, flat one. So the plump bulb is full of lots of valuable food for your plant. And then also, especially later towards springtime, you got to be especially careful making sure that the bulbs you buy are firm and they're not soft. We don't want to be introducing disease into our planting. Okay, bigger the better. Then where are we going to plant our bulbs? Almost every flower demands full sun. Same with the gladiola. So we want 8 hours of direct sun. Put it in a sunny garden area, and we have to have good drainage, okay? Otherwise, the corms will rot. So good drainage, good sun, and access to water is very important. You know, in North Dakota, this is a semi-arid state, and water is the #1 limiting factor in success in gardens. So access to water can be very important. And if you're going to water anytime, the most precious time is as soon as those flower spikes start to develop. That's when the gladiolas especially needs your attention and needs a drink of water. Okay, the other issue with North Dakota, my Lord, like we saw Harlene's picture of that dog with the hair flowing over, saying that could be your gladiola too. Gladiolas, the biggest issue we have in our gladiolus trials is how they blow over from the wind. So pick a sheltered site out of the winds, or then you can also stake your gladiola spikes. You can stake everyone individually, or cut flower growers, they will raise gladiolas in a straight row, and then we'll pound in a stake, a 2x2, every 10 feet down the row. And then we'll wrap some nylon twine around either side so we can provide some support that gladiola can grow within. And so when the winds come, it has some support and it won't blow over. You got to put that support little net on as soon as possible, though. Don't wait till the plant gets 2 feet tall. This is a big issue, so a sheltered spot's critical for success. Although gladiolas do look beautiful horizontally, as you can see in this picture, I have to say, it's beautiful anyway. Can't go wrong with gladiolas, right? Okay, as far as sowing, we had a talk earlier tonight about good quality soil really makes a big difference. And for gladiolas, you know, almost every plant in the garden, it benefits from a little bit of added organic matter. And like Dave Franzen, I'm a big proponent of sphagnum peat moss, or rotted manure or compost. Add 1 inch of that into your soil and work it up to improve the overall condition of the land. As far as fertilizer, a general recommendation is we use about 2 pounds of a balanced fertilizer, like 888 or 10-10-10 for every 100 square feet. And usually what we do is we put about half of it down early on as a broadcast treatment before we plant, and then we'll side dress the other pound. We'll split the other pound into 2 halves, and we'll side dress when the plants are about 10 inches tall. And then again, as soon as the flower spike is initiated, that's another good time to give the plant its last fertilizer. But the best thing is to get a soil test report. That's the best thing, so then you can know exactly what your plant needs. As far as planting, it's too early. I know you're very excited about getting these free gladiolus, but calm down. You cannot plant them now. It's too early, because look how deep you're going to plant those guys. 4 to 6 inches deep. I plant mine about 4 inches deep, and the ground is still very cold, 4 inches deep. That bulb or that corm's just going to sit there and rot if you plant it now. So wait till at least till mid-May, and maybe even late May, to be more assured that you'll have a strong stand. It's not uncommon for it to take a couple weeks for your gladiolus corms to emerge out of the ground. So I encourage you to wait till the soil's warm and then be patient. And we'll plant them about 4 to 6 inches deep, and make sure you don't plant it upside down. Okay, all you master gardeners out there, you know, this little bump's called the sprout. That's where the top of the bulb is. That goes on the top, and this basal plate where the roots are, that's the bottom. But even if you just throw them in the sky and let them fall down, they'll find a way up. They'll figure it out which way to grow, but ideally plant them properly. About 6 to 8 inches apart. Biggest pest problem we have gladiolus are thrips, and thrips are really small. You can't see them with the naked eye, but you can see their impacts, and you'll see silvery streaks like this on the blossoms as well as on the leaves. So if you start seeing that, you got to take action. And I'm not too crazy about using insecticides on a flowering plant because you don't want to harm the honeybees, but there are some more bee-friendly insecticides out there, like pyrethrum, and the most common trade name for that is Pyganic, P-Y-Ganic, that is, you know, Pyganic, or neem can do the job on thrips too. And the thing about thrips is they hang out in the folds of the leaves. This is a healthy plant, but I'm just showing you those tight folds, and that's where those thrips hang out. Somehow we got to get that chemical into those folds. And you know, if nothing else, when I used to work at the World Vegetable Center working with the very poorest farmers, we found that even if you just shoot some water in there into those folds, it can dislodge the thrips. So anything's better than nothing. If you really want to have a perfect plant, there are systemic insecticides like Bayer Advanced Insect Control for insect control in roses and flowers is a systemic, but that's imidacloprid and not a very bee-friendly chemical. So just be on the lookout for thrips. Thrips come with the bulbs, but you got beautiful bulbs. You didn't get thrips, but be on the lookout, because especially if you planted glads in the area in your garden in previous years, you can build up a thrip population. So be on the lookout for those silver streaks and take prompt action if you see it. Okay, let's talk about harvesting. Or that's because I'm a farmer. I don't cut my bulbs or cut my flowers. I harvest them. But when you harvest a gladiola, you cut it when you see this on the spike. The bottom third, the blooms are fully open. The middle third of the spike, the florets are just partially opening, and then the top third, the buds are just starting to show their color, just barely can see any color. That's the time you do the harvest, and you do it in the morning when the plants are turgid and sturdy. That you never want to do it in the afternoon when the plants are weak from that harsh afternoon sun. So do it in the morning. Go out there with a clean bucket of lukewarm water and make a quick cut. Slip the spikes right into the lukewarm water. When you make a cut, you have to leave some of the leaf spikes there. You got to leave the leaves there, because the corm bulb, you know, I'll just tell you, this bulb here, this mother, she's going to give all of her energy. You should love her. She's going to give all her energy to produce those beautiful flowers for you, and she's going to be tapped out, and she's going to just shrivel up by the end of the year. But we want this mother to create a daughter bulb for the next year's gladiola. And to create that daughter bulb, she needs food energy, and she gets that food energy from her leaves. So when you make the harvest, cut the flower spike, but leave the leaves, because that's very important for the creation of the daughter bulb. And after you make your cut, you bring the bucket of glads in, and then you put them in a cool, dark place for a few hours to get over their shock. And then you enjoy it. And to enjoy your glads, you're going to give them fresh water every other day. Going to make a fresh cut every other day, fresh cut from the bottom. Just take another inch off. Your cut flowers last longer in bright but indirect light. You don't want that harsh afternoon light on them. Keep it cool, and then use a flower preservative if you have one. Otherwise, there's some homemade recipes out there. A common one is like using lemon lime soda. 1 part lemon lime soda to 3 parts water. That's one recipe. And you throw a cap full of bleach in per quart of water for to sterilize it, to keep the diseases out of the water solution. Another recipe is you can use lemon juice, a couple tablespoons of lemon juice, a tablespoon of sugar, mix that in the water with the cap full of bleach, and you're ready to use that as your flower preservative. So just enjoy the beauty for a couple weeks, and then you start thinking about next year. And so you talk about storing the bulb for next year. We're gonna, after the frost comes, we got to dig up that corm, cut off the stalk right away, and then we're gonna store those corms in a warm, airy place for a few weeks. And after that, we're gonna do the final cleaning, get the rough dirt off of it. The mother bulb will just scrape off, the old shriveled mother will just scrape off. You keep the husk. You want that papery husk to protect the bulb. And then we're gonna store it over winter in a cool place where it's dark and dry. And I store mine in like onion bags, like those nylon mesh bags. They store really nicely. So that's how you make it happen this summer, guys. I wish you all, here's my photo credits, and I also want to wish you good luck, good success. I expect great results and a lot of happiness from these gladiolas. So good luck with it. Does anybody have any questions out there?
First off, somebody was wondering, somebody was wondering where the folks in the internet land could get a bag of the corms themselves. I think he was hoping you would provide them.
Really? Well, if you come to Fargo in the next 15 minutes, I'll be happy to get you our extras. But if that doesn't work for you, you know what? I think a good way to do it is we test cultivars. We have a home garden variety trial program, and we test gladiola cultivars. And so if you'd like, I can't give them to you for free, but we're doing tests of red, yellow, orange, rose, pink colored glads. And so for $1.50, I can give you like 2 yellow varieties that you can compare in your backyard garden, and you'll compare them side by side, and then you'll make a recommendation for us. Like, here's Priscilla. Priscilla was a very strong performer last year in our cultivar trials. And so this not only holds on with glads, but next week we'll be talking about vegetables where you can test them in your own backyard garden. So you can just Google North Dakota Home Garden Variety Trials. You'll get right to our website, and we're shipping out stuff this week in a major way. So take advantage of that. And if for children, we offer 1 free trial per child who wants to help manage a trial. So there you go.
Can you repeat the homemade preservative?
Sure. There's a lot of them out there, but 2 that I'm most familiar with is you mix 1 part of lemon lime soda. You don't use the diet stuff, the real 7-Up. 1 part of that and 3 parts of water. And also you throw in a little cap full of bleach, just a dab of bleach there per quart. And then that's one option. The other one is you use lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons of that with 1 tablespoon of sugar. Mix that in a quart of water and put a little bleach in there, and that will also help.
Can you plant them in a pot and stake them?
You can definitely plant them in a pot. You're going to plant them a little bit closer. You're not going to go 6 to 8 inches now, because every inch is precious in a pot, but maybe 4 to 6 inches. Yeah, great. Containers, it's the way to go. And that's the nice thing about a pot is that you can control the sun and the wind much better in a movable situation like that. So you can have great success growing them in a container. Great suggestion.
That's all for around
Okay,
here.
any other questions out there?
Fargo?
Okay.
Now in pots and then transplant them.
You can start them now, I guess, in a container,
And then transplant them.
then transplant them. That's right. There's a lot of ways to garden, that's for sure. But in general, I'm going to tell you, wait till mid to late May. That's the time to, and also you can keep planting until mid-June, but that's as late as you can plant. And sometimes people plant a little bit in late May, and then a week or two later, you can put another group in to have another sequence of blooms. Okay, with that, I'm going to say thank you, everybody. Enjoy your glads, and I want to thank all the speakers. We had an excellent session tonight, and we have one more to go. We'll see you next Monday night here at the Spring Fever Garden Forums. See you next Monday.